Hello everybody and welcome to Skits. So today what we're going to be talking about is Josephine. Now Josephine is a side journey from Skits, and it's actually the next book that we're going to be working on. And the reason why we're working on it is because it's pivotal that this little bit of story gets told before we go to Skits the Sun Book 2. It's takes place about 50 years before Skits the Sun Book 1. So it's when Josephine actually meets a lot of the Skits team. You know, like when we looked at Skits the Sun Book 1, Skits, there was already a team together. You know, there's Josephine, there's Hattie Mae, and there's MC. And it's like, okay, there's already this team going on, and where did this team come from? Well, that's exactly what we need to do. We kind of got to go back a little bit. We're going to go back about 50 years, and we're going to tell the story of Josephine, how she becomes a part of the team. And it's just really important because there's actually a lot of stuff going on in Skits the Sun Book 2, and I felt like we had to kind of take this side journey in order to pull it all together really nice. And it's going to just be really just a cool story and a cool way of working too. The way I'm going to be working on this book is I'm going to be doing it all analog. I'm going back to the basics. We're making it all on paper, paint, pencils, all of that sort of stuff. Now, the way I'm going to be doing the thumbnails and stuff is with iPad. I'm going to be using Procreate to do all of the initial thumbnails and stuff like that. And before we actually work on the physical pieces, you know, you gotta, if you're going to be working on paper, you gotta plan. You gotta plan a lot of this beforehand. And what we're going to be doing for about the next month is actually showing you all the thumbnails for the pages, the work process and stuff. And I just thought it'd be really cool to kind of bring you through that process. The process is what we call in the industry a book dummy. Now, in comic books, what they'll say is, oh, have you got your pagination done? And pagination is basically just showing all the thumbnails for all the different pages of your book. Say you're doing like 24 pages for a book. Well, what you would do is you'd actually show the thumbnails for all 24 pages, you know, and you have them on one sheet or a couple sheets, and you know, you could have them up on the wall and show them to people. Well, if you're working for a book publisher and you're doing like an illustrated book or a children's book or something like that, what they call it, that process is a book dummy. And that's actually what we're going to be doing. You know, I'm going to show you my process for doing a book dummy. Now, it's basically the same thing. You know, you do your pagination, do all your pages and stuff like that, but just maybe a little more in-depth into it, not so quick and just done. You know, it's I'm actually going to go through and do every page and illustrate it out pretty. It's going to be rough, but it's also going to be, it's going to deal a lot more with lighting, the characters, the structure, the storytelling, the writing. You know, I just feel like there's a little more to it, and I'm going to have a completed book dummy before I even get started on the actual book. Just had to take a quick pause there. I was getting excited. I need to catch my breath for a sec. So what I'm going to show you today is actually the first page, the first spread. The way that this book is being done is I'm doing spreads for each page, and instead of the book being 11 by 17, you know, like tall and thin, I'm actually doing it horizontally. So it's going to, let me get my hands in there. It's going to be like a big, long book, right? So it's got your pages, and you're going to open it up. And it's just, I think this is really the the fun part of this. So I call it a side journey. So what we're doing is we're taking the comic book and we're putting it on its side, and it's actually going to be like that. So it's actually literally a side journey. So this is, it's just, I think, a little more of a fun way of doing it. It's going to be 48 pages. We're going to have two versions. I'm going to be doing, I think, about 8 different pages in each one. So, you know, just like Skits the Sun Book 1, we had those 3 book journeys where you had little different stories inside. Well, this one's going to be the same way, but instead of 6 pages, it's going to be 8 pages of different story. So that'll be fun. And the cool thing is we already have one of the covers done. It's done by Jason Sean Alexander. So that's exciting. I mean, I'm not going to show it yet, but it's already done, and we'll show that when we actually get to it. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I'm gonna be releasing these videos, I think, one a day through through all of October, because there's like 23 pages. Excuse me. There's 23 spreads. So we're gonna do one every day. We'll skip the weekends, so we don't need to show anything on the weekends. So there you go. And let me just pull this up and show you. This is pretty much, you'll just get the video of what I'm about to show you here. I'm going to be putting these up daily. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and take a look at it. Yeah. So like I said, I'm doing these in Procreate on my iPad, all the thumbnails for the book dummy. And I'm using just one brush, which is a chalk brush, and an eraser. That's all I'm doing for all of these pages for the entire book dummy. So if you're wondering about that sort of thing, boom, here you go. You know, that's exactly what we're doing here. And again, on the left-hand side, this is the establishing shot. It's a city, or not really a city, more of a town in the mountains. So it's just kind of an establishing shot. I'll probably have, you know, maybe in the distance back there, some light mountains and stuff like that. I haven't actually put into this. Maybe what I need to do is just do a little bit more of that. And on the right-hand side here is more of a shot of what's going on in the town, in the village. It's like a central location in the village, and there's stuff going on. And what's going on right here? Well, it's actually some bad guys that are rounding up the villagers and stuff. So that's kind of, I wanted it to be sort of a dark start of the book. But then, oh, let me bring that back up. All right. Let me just back that up so you can see it. So, yeah, so it's going to be kind of a dark start, but it moves into some more, you know, exciting and lighting, you know, light, airy type stuff. And again, like Skits the Sun Book 1, it's kind of going to be a journey where you're going across this planet. You know, we're still on Suliac, and we just want to see how Josephine really came about. And of course, yes, Skits is going to be in this book. Some of the other characters and teams and stuff are going to be in there as well, and it'll be fun. But the coolest part about Josephine is we're actually we got some darker characters and bad guys. Let me just show you one of these sketches right here. I'm gonna pull the video back out so you can see this right quick. So there, that is one of my concepts, and I'll be putting up videos of these, of me working on these concepts. That's one of the bad guys, so that should be cool. So yeah, and actually you can see him like right over on the far right hand side, that character. So that is going to be exciting, really, really exciting. So like I said, we'll be moving forward. I'll be putting these out daily throughout the month of October, and just check out for it, and then I'll also be checking in probably once a week. I'm gonna try and do a live stream and kind of go over some of these videos and show y'all like, hey, this is what we did this week. This is kind of where my thought process is. This is where it's going. So come on and check it out and go on this journey with us. All right.